Hello everyone, this is Miss Iman. For today's video, we will be focusing on the second part of lesson 5.1, Identify Functions. This lesson would be about the different ways of representing a relation. Before we get started, make sure that you were able to watch the video about lesson 5.1, part 1 first, or else you might feel confused about what we will be discussing on this video. If you are still watching this video, it means that you're good to go. So, let's get started. Let's have a quick revision about the first part of our lesson, which is about the input and output of ordered pairs. Let's answer this table. Now, fill in the table below by determining the input and output of each given ordered pairs. If you can recall from our previous video, input is it X or Y? Input is the X values and output is the Y value. And again, in an ordered pair, the first number is always X and the second number is always Y. Now that we have this in mind, let's fill in the table. In the first example, the given is 1 and negative 2. So the input would be X, or the first number, that would be 1, and the output would be the second number, or negative 2. For example number 2, we have negative 7 and 14. The input here would be negative 7, and the output would be 14. For number 3, the input will be 0, and the output will be 8. For example number 4, we have the input as negative 12 and the output as 16. And in the last example, the input will be negative 4 and the output would be 5. Alright, now we can move on to the main part of this video, which is about the ways of representing a relation. A relation can be represented in many ways: ordered pairs, table, mapping, or graph. Now, what do these look like? An ordered pair, as we know, is this example. It is written like points to graph on a Cartesian plane. And the table is in this form. Of course, it's in a table form. And then mapping is something that looks like this, wherein you have the input and your output. The input again is the X value and the output are the Y values. And you have arrows, which we will be discussing later, how to write in ordered pairs. And of course, the graph. Alright, let's have the first example. Write the ordered pairs of each given relation. We have here, the given is in table form. Now, how do we write the ordered pairs from a table? Just have to look at the partner numbers, and it's very direct. It's saying that the first column is X and the second column is Y. And our first ordered pair is negative 1 and 3. To write it in ordered pairs, you just have to write the X first and again the Y. Always in that format, X, comma, Y. Keep that in mind. And then the second set would be 0, 4, and then 3, 7, and then 10, 14. So these are your ordered pairs from the given table. Let's look at the second example. Now we have here a mapping diagram. So how do we write a mapping diagram to an ordered pair? The key is to follow the arrows. What do I mean by that? Let's look at the first example. -2 going to 4. Now, when we write the ordered pairs, it means that that would be -2, 4. And then -1 going to 11. So that would be -1, 11. The third example would be from 0 going to 6. So the ordered pairs would be 0, 6. And then from 1 going to 5. So that would be 1, 5. And then the last one would be from 2 going to -3. So that would be 2, -3. And these are your ordered pairs from the given mapping diagram. Let's move on to the third example. So we have here another mapping diagram. But if you can see, now the right side is first going to the left side. Again, the key is to follow the lines. So here the first one is from -4 going to 2. So that would be -4, 2. And then from -7 going to 6. So that would be -7, 6. And then if we continue doing this, we will have 0, 2, 5, 6. And the last one would be 3, 4. And these are your ordered pairs based on the given mapping diagram. Now how about this next example? What if we have a graph? Now, how do we know the ordered pairs on a given graph? First, of course, if you're having a hard time, it would always be better to write the points first in the Cartesian plane. So what do I mean by that? In the x-axis, label the lines as 1, 2, positive numbers on the right, and negative numbers on the left. So let's do that right now. So the right side would be positive numbers. So this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then the left side would be negative. -1, -2, -3, and -4. This is the same way with the x-axis. In the y-axis. So in the y-axis, the upper part is positive and the lower part is negative. So let's label those. This would be positive 1, 2, 3, and 4. And down would be -1, -2, -3, and -4. Now that we've done that, we can now get the points or the ordered pairs for each of these points. Let's look at this point first. So this point is from here and here, right? So the x value of this is -3 and the y value is again -3. How do you write that in ordered pairs? That would be -3, -3. Again, the x values should be first and the y value should be on the second part. Okay, let's look at the second point, which is this. This point is at -2 in the x-axis, and it's at 3 in the y-axis. So when we write the ordered pairs, that would be -2, 3. Let's try the third one. This point. That point is at 2 in the x-axis, and it's at 1 in the y-axis. So when we write the ordered pairs, that would be 2 and 1. Then the last point, we have this. In the x-axis, this is again the x-axis. In the x-axis, it's at 3. And in the y-axis, it's at 2. So when we write the ordered pairs, that would be 3, 2. And that is how you write the ordered pairs if you are given a graph. And for our final example for this lesson, we have another graph. So you can pause this video and try to look for the ordered pairs on your own. Okay, you can pause the video now, and then I will write the answers in a few seconds. Alright, this point here, that would be -3. So this is, let's label the numbers first. That would be 1. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Then -1, -2, -3, -4. Here is +1, 2, 3, 4. And down is -1, -2, -3, and -4. So for the first point, this point, that would be in the x-axis -3, and in the y-axis at 1. So I can write the ordered pairs as -3 and 1. Let's look at the second point. We have this point. Alright, in the x-axis, that is at 1, and in the y-axis, it's at 3. So that would be 1, 3. Let's look at this point right here. So the x-axis, that is at 0, and in the y-axis, it's at -2. So that point is 0, -2. And then the last point, we have this. In the x-axis, it's at 4, and in the y-axis, it's at -3. So the ordered pair for that is 4, -3. And this would be your ordered pairs for this given graph. Now I hope you have your copybooks with you, because for the next part of this video, you will be doing the classwork. So again, copy and answer the following in your copybook. Write the direction at the same time the given, and write the ordered pairs for each mapping diagram and graph. Again, this is Miss Imat, your teacher guide for today. Till the next video, happy learning!